just ignoring it. You know, people talk about the gray rock method, right? Gray rock method isn't a way to stay married to an abuser. It isn't a way to keep living with an abuser. Gray rock method means you don't have a voice, you don't have a self, you don't get what you want, you don't get what you need, who cares what you feel, you are expressing yourself this much. And that's how much of yourself you are in touch with when you gray rock. Gray rock's a survival method until you get out of there. When we're being traumatized, very, very, very common, and people have feelings of helplessness and hopelessness and not sure what to do. And they'll take that advice, gray rock, as a way to stay. It's a way to get out with some sanity, to stop the drama, to stop internalizing these things. Look like this instance, it may have helped, but what about the underlying problems of being abused? Anyways, I don't know what else to say about this. You know, we do what we have to for survival, but there's underlying problems that she needs to take care of, right? Anyways, thank you, Vicky. If you had more of a question for this, please ask, okay? Thanks. Deeper Roots, Higher Self from Germany. Romania. Hello. And thanks for the feedback about my mother comment. I think I need to think more about that. I think I still act the way my family expects me to, and not as my own individual, even though I have gone no contact with all the toxic family members, which is everyone except for my brother, and he even lacks empathy sometimes, but I see that he's trying. I'm kind of stuck in this, okay, this is wrong, but there is no connection to my intuition. If a narcissist parent kept telling you that you are wrong, I think you will have problems finding agreement with yourself. Absolutely. Massive doubt. It's really as if I always knew what's right, but I have this huge block inside of me that makes me doubt myself at every step. It's annoying. I also knew that the narc was dangerous when I started talking to him. I used to give toxic people the benefit of the doubt, out of shame from my own childhood, out of feeling wrong. I had too much patience with them and doubted myself. I'm so glad to hear you know these things. Now you know what to fix. That's the benefits of introspecting, the things that narcissists won't do. Go right on to the next person, right? I wrote, child neglect is psychologically damaging in adulthood. It causes massive doubt amongst other problems. Healing this and raising our self-worth is the key to healthier relationships in the future. Thanks for sharing this. Good luck. Keep asking. Thank you. Liebes Love from Cyprus. Hello. Hi, David. Thank you for answering my question about pitting someone with a personality disorder. To be blunt, your advice made me very emotional in a nice way. It was just so lovely coming from you as a professional in this field. You reassured me that it's okay to have compassion with these people. I honestly felt like there was something wrong with me for feeling this way. Most definitely, this is a great step in the healing process. I can feel this in myself, more at peace. What a relief. Thank you again. P.S. This week's Q&A was great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now that we have compassion for our abuser, try self-compassion for his victims. You. Okay? This is a great exercise when I can help my clients find compassion for their abusers. Not forced. And this isn't an apology or forgiveness. Okay? This is understanding. We don't internalize it as much. Okay? And we've got to have some self-compassion for ourselves. Absolutely necessary to heal. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing this. It's beautiful. Hello, David. Emily from Latvia. Hi, Emily again. I hope you had a lovely weekend. I experienced trauma yesterday. My dad came to see me and daughter's completely drunk. I did not let him in our house. He lives next door in a separate house. It was disgusting. He barely was standing on his feet. He drinks alcohol on a regular basis and has visited us frequently. Asked him to leave. Today he called me like nothing happened. Did not apologize, nothing. I said that your behavior triggered me and my daughters. I had to calm kids down, explain about addictions, etc. I now realize that I cannot live next door to my dad. He is an alcoholic addict and will always be coming to my house. I decided today to sell my house and move. My ex-narcissist was an alcoholic, asked him to leave, and now I need to protect myself and my daughters from my dad. Thank you for making this video. Thank you for telling me, Emily, and I'm so sorry. That's what I was referring to earlier in this video. I didn't know I saved this. Such a good mom, so strong to face these things that are so hard to do. Your father's an alcoholic and your ex-husband was an alcoholic. See that cycle? You're stopping it. Good. We heal from our marriage, and then I hope you heal from your childhood, Emily. Okay? This can be a very, very positive step. I don't know if you feel that yet. But doing something huge like this for yourself and your children is very, lots of strength, raising our self-worth, huge. And really teaching your children that this isn't okay. It's not. It's not. You can't have your children around an alcoholic who's drunk all the time, even if it isn't their grandfather. Anyone, the neighbor, right? I'm sorry your dad is sick. And I'm sorry it's affected you so much that you married someone like him. This is healing. A great positive thing, and I'm glad that you shared this with us. Thank you. And good luck, Mom. Good luck. You're a wonderful mom. Becca again. Don't know where you're from, Becca. Hey, so I've had issues with drug addictions and these type of relationships my whole life. I have the abusive background. No sexual or physical abuse. My physical needs were met, however, always threatened to be taken away. Both my parents, my dad psychologically abused me, mom emotionally neglected me. I was not tended to in a safe way at all. No, neither parent loved me. I'm now either heavily on drugs or enmeshed in an abusive relationship. And in every relationship, I was a different person. And I see now this doesn't seem right. And then you're on Suboxone. Never heard of that one. I'm sorry, Suboxone. To treat my drug problems while seeing psychologists. And the Suboxone has also had helped me with the desire to be in a relationship. Now I do want one. One day. Now you want one day. Longest I've held a job is 2 years. Had to do jail time once. Anyway, long story short, I didn't know all my exes were narcs or psychopaths. It wasn't until I got with my ex who said the exact same thing my dad used to me. And interestingly, he treated me how my mom treats me and dad treated me, rolled into one person. Yeah, what we don't heal, we repeat, right? That's it. That's it. What we don't heal, we repeat. Not every child does this because maybe it didn't traumatize them as much. And LLL, I guess all BPDs aren't the same. Oh, I just may have BPD. They're not all the same. I don't discard, but I will sure as heck force a discard. But if I am BPD, I won't give you a hard time because you actually helped me come into awareness that I may have that issue as I saw the characteristics. So thank you for what you do. I have great emotional empathy. Cognitive empathy is definitely lacking in me. And it's just beautiful that you're able to introspect, Becca. But please don't diagnose yourself. Go get help. Have somebody help you with this, okay? Thank you, Becca. I'm glad you won't be mad at me. Thank you. Thanks for sharing this, most of all. Thanks for being vulnerable and sharing this. Please keep asking questions, okay? And get yourself the help that you are so worthy of, okay? Thank you. Okay. No name. Oh, Nia. Nia from Sweden. Hi, Nia. Going on 4 months, no contact. We were back and forth for 6 years because he kept me in the dark by future faking. Back and forth 6 years. That's dependency. Last year I was suddenly discarded. He had been seeing her for 1.5 years behind my back. Oh, awful betrayal. Oh my God, it makes you just doubt everything. I'm sorry. Basically, he was dating us at the same time, and she is okay with it as long as I'm out of the picture. That's how much self-worth she has. She doesn't believe she's worth better than that, or she wouldn't do it. According to him, we were broken up for 4 years. It's the biggest lie. Since we never broke up officially, he kept me confused and holding on to commitment while he was out there having fun. He kept breaking contact with me every 3 to 4 weeks, but we will always get back together within a few days, and he never told me he started dating others. Deep inside, I'm thankful that he's out of my life, but somehow I still get jealous of his new girlfriend. Apparently gave her a ring and introduced her to his family after seeing her for a year. He exploited me for 6 years of my life, and now I'm left with nothing. Sad. Don't you still have yourself? Yeah. If you don't, find it. Find it. Because you have a beautiful person inside there. And he just damaged you. Fix that damage and express yourself. And allow yourself to come out. And that's so sad that somebody leaves your life. And I understand it. I've felt this way before, I think. Someone leaves our life and we feel like we have nothing. When you have yourself, always. Don't deny yourself. Don't give up on yourself. I can't help but to feel jealous of her getting everything I couldn't get from him. But deep inside, I know I don't even want it. What's up with these feelings? Well, in these relationships that are so uncomfortable or maybe traumatic, feels horrible, and we stay, we've got to make ourselves feel comfortable somehow, right? Here's a reference of people in prison. People in prison have to stay there. That's it. There's nothing they can do about it. Cold, dark, damp, violent, nasty place, deprived of the things you need. One of the worst places, right? I've heard. So if I'm stuck there, I'm gonna make it as comfortable as I can. And you'll see prisoners do this often. Prisoners sometimes won't even contact anyone from the outside. It doesn't exist. Whatever they got to do to get through this. And this is what we do, isn't it? We eventually lose all our relationships and we tell ourselves lies. Oh, he didn't mean it. He was just drugged. He was abused as a kid. I deserve it. Who am I? I got problems too. We lie to ourselves so much that when it's over, we're confused, right? We're confused. And I see you. I like what you said. But deep inside, I know I don't even want it. We need to process these things. We need to heal from these things. And I strongly recommend, and you are so worthy of professional help. Talk to somebody. Psychotherapy is just talking. Yeah, I'm a life coach. You can do it with me. You can do it with a counselor, a therapist. If you need more help than that, okay. Psychiatrist if you need it. But talk, and process these things and be very clear. Because our brains are amazing files that will file things away and forget all the bad things and remember the good things and remember all the things that we said we were going to do. Dependent relationships, and I've said this before, dependent relationships is kind of like two people feeling like they're one person or that they own each other. Even when the relationship's over, I see this a lot. It could be over for quite a while and then it's, how dare you do that to me? How can you just go, now you're dating someone else, now you're going to get married, Stop looking. Stop looking, please. Please, Nia. Stop looking. Don't let anybody else tell you and focus on what you want, on yourself, on your future, okay? I'm sure there's a lot of things going on here that you may not be aware of, that you may be confused about. Or just this, kind of things like, I know I don't want him, but here I am wishing it was me. I'm jealous, right? Jealousy is a fear of losing something we have. So are you afraid of losing him? Or are you envious and wish you were her? I think it was jealousy, that you're just afraid of losing him, even though it's over. And so we need to start accepting this in our lives. It's over. Thank God. The abuse is over. The trauma is over. And now it's somebody else's turn. Don't watch it. Don't poke a stick at it. Don't get involved. Don't see it, hear it, smell it, feel it. Keep it out of your life and tell yourself that you're worthy of that. Every time you look, and I'm not trying to accuse you of looking, I'm just guessing that's how you know. Okay? Every time you look, you lower your self-worth. Every time you feel like looking, you choose not to, you raise your self-worth. Your subconscious is always asking you if your life is worth more and if it's more important than what you're currently doing. And we answer this consciously by our choices, our decisions. Okay? Get some support, Nia. I'm so sorry you feel this way. Awful feeling. And I hope I made some sense. Please let me know. Thanks. And let's see. I just want to see where we're at here. Oh, and I lost my place. BB from the USA. Hello, BB. I would like to piggyback my questions to the viewer who asked about red flags in a long-distance relationship. All relationships need open communication to thrive. In a recent study led by Dr. Mahabian to devise a formula to describe how the mind determines meaning, he concluded that the interpretation of a message is 7% verbal and 38% vocal and 55% visual. The conclusion was that 93% of communication is nonverbal. If the majority of communication is nonverbal, and since the majority of communication in LDR is done over the phone or internet, how do we gauge it? How can we attach and meet each other's needs without being in each other's physical presence, doing things together and experiencing each other's nonverbal reactions? You mentioned you have tried LDR and they didn't end well. Would you attempt to try again, knowing how difficult they are and knowing how important it is to recognize red flags, which can be hidden if the majority of communication is off in the virtual nature? So, I mean, what's the biggest strain on a marriage, right? I've heard redecorating your house. That could be pretty stressful to agree on every single color and design and fabric. But really, the biggest strain on a marriage is separation. Biggest. I've seen marriages fail and dissolve, because someone had to go to war because of work and stuff like this. Would I ever consider a long-distance relationship again? Yes, I would. But the goal is to be together, isn't it? That's what we're eventually working towards. And see each other, at least. We need to be close. We do. We do. Emotional connection. And I'm glad you brought that up. 7% verbal, the rest vocal and visual. We need to be close to each other. No misunderstandings. Really connect, really understand each other, and be there for emotional support. Two people in love need to be by each other. Yeah. Biggest strain you can ever do. So would I consider starting one? Yes. Would I consider living one for years? No. Hope that makes sense. Thanks for asking. Let me know. Next one is from David in Canada. Another set of great videos. Thank you, David. Question for you. My ex-narc used to ask me to tickle her back often. Sit there and tickle her back. She said this reminded her of her childhood, and this is how her mother would help her relax. This would be like a 20-minute to 45-minute long thing. So is that a healthy request to have her needs met? Or would this be more of a way of putting me in the parent role? So I said I think this is more of a broader question that has to do more with the actual dynamics of the relationship instead of a single incident, right? What's wrong with tickling your partner's back for 45 minutes? Well, I need to hear more. So I said that, and you, let's see, I think you did. Yeah, you said, thanks, David. That is along the lines I was thinking. It was a soothing method, but not a self-soothing method. That's what I said. I said what I said was, I think these intimate moments together can be great for bonding. I think your question is a broader one about the relationship you had. I think she may have difficulty self-soothing and is dependent on others to do that for her, right? Because you're here. My question is because she's probably disordered and probably abused you, but more importantly, extremely codependent, extremely dependent. I can't regulate my emotions or my hormones myself, and I need people to do that for me, and that's a perfect example. Right? She wants to resort back to her childhood where her trauma started, or where maybe she feels safe again. And she needs you to do this for her several times a week, right? And if it's because she can't self-soothe, then there's a problem. We have dependency. More importantly, did she even reciprocate anything back to you, right? You said, that is along the lines I was thinking. It was a soothing method, but not a self-soothing method, but one that causes me to invest my efforts into ensuring her needs were met. This was 4 times a week. At first it was great, but the longer we were together, the more she expected me to do it, and the less she appreciated me doing it. Sounds like dependency, addiction, right? Ask any drug addict when the best time he ever got high was, he or she. The first time, and it just starts going down from there. It's amazing. I don't care how amazing something is, eventually it fades. It goes down. And this is what happens. She's been dependent on you, and it's not working because it's external, because she's not doing it herself, which would be internal. Okay? Thanks, David. Stephanie from Canada. Hello, Stephanie. This is my question. Why is it that the narcissist wants to damage you so much, causing you to go through mental pain or start smear campaigns, basically saying they want you to kill yourself? Then turn around after the damage is done, saying that they are sorry later on and love you and didn't mean it. They use every sort of weakness they knew about to their advantage to hurt you. I don't have a vindictive mind like this, and it's hard for me to understand. It's horrible and cruel, and it sure is. It sure is. I wrote, "Hi Irene, sounds like he is gaslighting you. This is done because he cannot focus or manage his own life. He can't focus on or manage his own life, so he attempts to make you feel as crazy as he does. He is also very bored." So, the codependent gives the unwanted advice. You should do this, you shouldn't do that, you should feel this way, you shouldn't feel this way, I told you so. And they're managing your life. They're focusing on someone else's life because they can't focus on theirs. It hurts too much, and they can't manage their life. It's unmanageable. Okay? That's the codependent in him. Okay? But the gaslighting is abuse, lying to you, trying to make you feel you're crazy. And what he's doing is he's transferring these self-feelings he has of his own. Lots of shame, feels like a horrible person, confused, scared, lost. So he's transferring this to you. He's a narcissist. Doesn't care about you, doesn't care how you feel, what you want, what you need, doesn't even have empathy, not aware of even how bad it's hurting you. He's dealing with his own demons inside, isn't he? Isn't he? You know he feels like a horrible person. However we treat people is a good, clear sign of how we feel about ourselves, right? Think of somebody smear campaigning you for years, making tons of crap, just hating you and hating you and hating you, and you don't even talk to them. Imagine that. Imagine how bad that person hates themselves, right? So they hate themselves, and they're trying to manage your life because they can't manage their life. A narcissist won't look at themselves. It hurts too much. They won't deal with loss. They won't deal with pain. They won't deal with mistakes they've made. No apologies, right? Will not ever introspect. So he won't try to fix how bad he feels. He's dependent on you to help him feel better, and he's doing that by being an emotional kicking post. He's hurting you, right? I hope that makes sense. Let me know what you think. And he's also bored. No life. I think that's obvious. Nero Zero. Thanks for answering my question. You always know how to reframe the bad and put a more positive slant on it. This is something I want to be able to do for myself. Your opinion made me feel a hell of a lot less stress. Thanks, David. Thank you for telling me. Thank you very much. I'm glad you feel better. Oh, and I commented, remember, lies hurt and truths heal. Okay? This thing will lie to us. It'll tell us all kinds of things. It's impulsive, and it's just trying to keep us alive. So after we're traumatized, and so we going over and over in our thoughts, right? Challenge this thing. If your thoughts are making you feel bad emotionally, they're not true. I'm a bad person. I can never be loved. They're happy with somebody else, right? It's all my fault. I'm stupid. I'm ugly. I'm whatever. Not true. None of it. None of that's true. And that's why it feels bad. So stop telling yourself that. Challenge this thing with the truth. Forced positivity. And it feels better. It feels better. We just feel so down about ourselves, it's hard to accept. I'm beautiful. I'm lovable. It's not all my fault. I'm okay, right? We got to do it. And it helps if you have somebody else do that with you. Thanks for that. Megan from the United States here. Hi, Megan. The below comment of mine was skipped last week, so I'm copying and pasting it here. Thank you. And I'm sorry I missed your question. Thanks for reposting it. And everybody else, please do that too. You hit the nail on the head. I cried listening to you. The reason why I think he changed for her is because deep down I still feel that I am not good enough. My parents always told me someone else's daughter was better than me, even when I was the top student in class and had many other talents and achievements. I'm so sorry. No unconditional love, absolute conditional attention. And when we compare, low self-esteem, right? I don't care anybody. You think you're the best? Best at what? Anybody tell there. I'd love to hear what you think you're the best at. You think you're the smartest, the most looking, the best looking, the strongest, the best at your job. There's always someone better, bigger, more beautiful, stronger, smarter. Always. You'll never win that way. You'll never win if you compare yourself to others. And then when you have someone doing that to you, especially your parents, oh no. Oh no. Narcissistic parenting. Not calling them narcissists, but that is extreme narcissistic parenting. And I'm awfully sorry, Megan. This actually led to this week's question. I still catch myself ruminating about him living a life in harmony with her right now. Trust me, I don't look because she has to promo her dominatrix business on Instagram daily. I can't help but think she is mentally fine to keep it going. I'm not going to pass judgment, but someone who has to constantly promote her dominatrix business on Instagram, right there just raises some red flags, right? That might be judgmental. Megan, I'm sorry you're feeling like this. Talk. Heal. We're not healed, right? Who have you talked to about this besides mom, a friend? They don't know how to help you, okay? They're great for emotional support, but you need emotional guidance. I'm not just here for emotional support for my clients. They can get that from their family and their friends. I'm here for emotional guidance, right? We don't know what to do. We weren't taught by our parents, our neglectful, abusive parents. So we don't know what to do in these situations. I don't know them, right? So I can sit here and tell you, if this guy was a piece of crap with you, right, or abusive, neglectful, never met your emotional needs, not honest, not open, not vulnerable, self-destructive, I don't know. Some of these things, right? How did he cure those things? How? It's never about meeting a person, unless it's a doctor, someone with a PhD or something. This person probably needs a ton and a ton and a ton of help, probably shouldn't even be in a relationship, doesn't know how, right? Look, someone doesn't just date you and know how to have a good relationship, but just chooses not to. Abusive people don't know how to have a good relationship. They can't even be vulnerable enough to even try. They're so stuck in life or death, narcissism, me. So dependent on others for what they need. And they exploit you and use you up and throw you away when there's nothing left of you, and they just go right on to the next person. Why would he be all better now? Why? You got to tell yourself this. You have to answer these questions for yourself. And more importantly, get help with this, okay? Really do some self-work, Megan, and start understanding what you value, understand how you feel, heal from all this stuff, everything that ever felt bad, everything that was confusing and you don't understand it. Work with someone to understand it. I know a common thing with therapists is they won't talk about anybody else in the room. They won't talk about your ex. We're only going to talk about you and here right now. Well, a big part of who I am is how I felt and everything I lost in this last relationship that just ended 2 weeks ago. What do you mean don't talk about somebody else? I'm not trying to talk about them, but I'm talking about me and how I felt in my relationship. I need to understand and heal. So do that. That's healing, okay? And then really start working on ourselves and realizing how absolutely different this person is than you. And that's by self-discovery, learning who you are, Megan. And knowing who you are really well will help you navigate and guide yourself emotionally in relationships and make good decisions, okay? A lot of work to do, and you're worth it, and it can be fun. Okay? Thanks, Megan. I'm sorry. Like I was saying before, we accept our emotions, make ourselves feel better, and we challenge our thoughts. Our thoughts aren't who we are. Our emotions are. Okay? And then you said, I commented to you, and you said, "Hi, David. Yes, please. And yell at me if necessary, LOL. I think I need some tough love and reality check to get over this." And I wrote, you need kind love, not tough love. You need love. This guy didn't love you, and that's usually because we come from an unlovable place, our childhood, where parents may not have loved us enough. And you need love is what you need. You need self-love, okay? Good luck, Megan. Keep asking me questions, all right? Jaden Riley. You told me where you are before and I can't remember. I'm sorry. Please tell me again next time. Thanks, Jaden. Another thing you can talk about, how parents are an influence to their children's self-esteem. Wow, I was just talking about that, huh? I came to realize one day that I grew up calling my mom mommy and my dad just dad. I could never come to call my dad daddy because I felt a sense of discomfort due to lack of vulnerability and love from him. My mom gave me love, told me I was beautiful and hardworking. She showed me when she was proud of me for my achievements, etc. My dad never once has told me I was pretty nor a good job. Rather, it was always some form of criticism that I didn't lose more weight. No one would ever love me. He told you this at age 11. Awful. Oh, geez. How do you tell your child that no one will ever love you? That's saying I don't love you, and believe me, no one else will. Gosh. And you can't not internalize something like that. But I can tell you, Jaden, that's your dad's problem. He made it yours, and that's dependency. So your dad never unconditionally loved you, and he was dependent on you, and here you are stuck like this. Yet I remember he wouldn't shut up about his stepdaughter about how pretty she is and blah, blah, blah. Because of this, I struggled immensely through many eating disorders and extreme nonstop exercise. Very common, very, very common. I think it's 70% of females develop eating disorders from teenage to 25, something like that. Extremely common. I hope you're working on that. And I hope that you're not suffering from that anymore. And I hope that you can start healing from the damage and the trauma and the abuse that your dad caused you. So sorry. You are lovable, Jaden. People are lovable. The only reason somebody wouldn't be lovable is because that person doesn't allow other people to love them, like the narcissist. The narcissist won't allow people to love them. They are unlovable until they decide to be lovable. Okay? You hit it on the nail right there, vulnerability and love from him. Now it's time to unconditionally love ourselves and meet our needs and give ourselves what we need and heal from this so you don't internalize this anymore and that you understand your father very, very, very well. And compassion helps that. Not forcing it, just telling you it helps. So the influence our parents have on our childhood and our self-esteem is everything. Is everything. Okay? A child is not born with anything emotionally, with any kind of self-worth or self-esteem. None. None. Our teachers, which are our parents, help us with this. Confidence comes from experience. And that's why children don't have any. So what do? If they don't have confidence to try again, right? We encourage our children. We give them the courage to try. And we don't focus on what's not important. Looks and weight. What you do is unimportant. Doesn't matter. Go fail. Go mess up. Not like it. Love it. Hate it. Be weird. Be strange. Have a imaginary friend. Steal. Lie. Learn. That's all you're doing is learning. And parents love you unconditionally no matter what you do. There might be punishments, but we do it with love. And we teach the child. We teach a child and let them form who they are on their own with support and guidance and encouragement to try at life. You didn't get that, and I'm awfully sorry. Self-esteem is a form of acceptance in society. We must be accepted and feel accepted. When we compare ourselves to others, our self-esteem goes down because there's always someone better. Always. And that's why we don't care. We don't judge. We're all equal. And we appreciate and accept how different everybody is. Okay? Including you. You're unique and you're beautiful in your own way, and you need to discover what that is. Okay? I'm really, really sorry, Jaden. It's so damaging. It just makes me feel so sad to think of all the 11-year-old girls out there being told the same thing. But I'm sorry that your dad told you that. That's your dad's problem. He's sick. That is just an awful thing to do. And that's how bad he feels about himself. That's how much hate he has for his own self. And he couldn't guide you at all, and he couldn't teach you anything because he knows nothing. Nothing. He came from a deep, dark, nasty, cold, lonely place. Lonely. I would imagine your father is extremely lonely. Heal from this, Jaden. You are so worth it, and there is help out there for you big time. If you're already doing it, great, good for you. If not, you are worthy. Please find that help and keep asking me questions, okay? Let me know what you think, Jaden. Thank you. That's all, guys. That's all the questions. Let me make sure. I think it is. Yep, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Great questions today. Keep them coming. I hope that you guys have learned something from this, healed from this. That's what healing is, right? Self-acceptance, self-love, self-understanding. Okay? So keep asking questions, everybody. Tell us your locations. Let us know where you are. Anyone interested in coaching, daviddemars.com. And please don't like, tell me why. Comment down below. Tell us where you're from. Subscribe to the channel, things like that. I really appreciate it. Thank you, all of you. Love yourself first. I'll see you next week, okay? Bye-bye.